I'm not a tech founder who thought real estate looked like a good market to be in. I'm a broker who's actively built tools that I needed in order to advance in the market that we operate. We work to simplify the world. It directly integrates to pull live data from Doorify MLS. We can automate marketing, manage clients, and replace your patchwork tech stack in one platform and one login. It is a key to scale. If you're a solo agent or manage a growing brokerage, we help you scale your operations, marketing, communication without adding hours to your day.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the next edition of the Doorify podcast. We have a special guest on the podcast today. Michael Walliser is a broker subscriber of Doorify, as well as being a software entrepreneur. I guess we can say that now, Michael, now that you've got a product coming out to the Doorify dashboard, you can add that to your business card.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, we're going to tell you a little bit about Michael's EasyDigz software platform today. I'll let him characterize it. Before we get there, real quick, I'm really proud to be able to introduce EasyDigz and Michael to the community because Michael's one of the technology companies that we feel it kind of came up through our outreach efforts. We have quarterly meetings with prop tech CEOs or pre-revenue software companies before they've actually gotten in the business. A lot of time they're just looking for advice. Recently I met somebody who had never heard of the Real Estate Standards Organization, and they had started coding their software without being aware of the standards and the data. And they came back to me recently and said how much money I saved them because they didn't have to redo it. Then they would have had to start it over. So Michael, we met, I guess, formally at one of those meetings where you came to see what was going on with our API and what's this prop tech meetup thing about. So tell us a little bit about how you got to that and maybe what happened since then.
Absolutely. So, Matt, you're definitely correct. When I first met you at PropTech, I was showing you tools that we were building for our own internal brokerage. I think I'll start with kind of our tagline, and that is, if Geico can save you 15% on car insurance in 15 minutes, then people should be able to use the next 15 minutes to transform how your brokerage runs and potentially open the door for you to double your business. We've done this by being a broker here in the Triangle for half of my life. We know margins are tight right now. Deals are taking longer, and technology that was supposed to make things easier has made it more complicated. I'm here to show you something that's a little bit different. We took the tools, as you mentioned, that I was showing Matt at our PropTech roundtable and turned them into a complete white label platform so that any agent at any time can take these tools, streamline their business, automate their client outreach, and help you scale and start focusing on what you are here for and what makes you money. And that's helping people buy homes. To talk a little bit about what got me here, I started off in 2006. I was buying my second house, and my realtor drove a much nicer car than I did. The market was booming, and I was like, well, why not? And then, 2007 was an intermediary time, and then 2008 happened. I'm sitting in a Remax office paying $600 a month for desk fees, and I got handed a phone book that was told to start cold calling. Every successful broker around me had built their business in a market that didn't exist at this point. Their advice didn't work. I pivoted. I moved into foreclosure and REO with a private firm, and I went to where the deals were. The things that I learned there is that sometimes systems matter more than sales pitches. When you're managing foreclosures, you don't get to wing it. Everything has a checklist and a deadline, required documentation, and compliance checkboxes. They have to be there. You're juggling dozens of properties with different timelines and different needs. This fundamentally changed how I think about real estate. It wasn't keeping someone on the phone to hope that they were going to buy at some point in time. It was making sure that every task was documented, that we were going through and validating every step and not dropping the ball. When the market bounced back, we were working with institutional investors acquiring portfolios. Again, it was just detailed systems and precise execution. I've done listings, the closings, the late night calls. I've felt the same frustration that people are feeling today. And most of us don't get here to become real estate software experts. That was sort of an avenue that I took because it was mandated upon me. We got here to make sure that we were helping people with some of their biggest financial decisions.
That's a great answer, Michael. So I know that brokers watching this podcast, if they've made it this far, hear this all the time, right? There's something that's going to transform your business and actually give you a confidence to scale. Because, hiring people is just increasing liability. bringing in automation is more liability, but it also is what smart companies are using to build their AI factory, to think about the speed of responsiveness to the consumer request when you get one. I think it is we're at an inflection point in technology, and maybe EasyDigz is a reflection of that, where we've just gone through technical paradigm shift, and we haven't had one of those in a minute. And now, maybe with standardization and APIs and AI on top of it, we can actually deliver a user experience that approximates or even challenges that of the big guys that are using the old technology spent $100 million to do what you can now do with EasyDigz for something that would actually be accessible to the broker watching this podcast. If you could summarize EasyDigz, Michael, that's about to show up on the Doorify dashboard here at the end of October, they're going to see a button that says try EasyDigz. What would they be trying?
Absolutely. So when you log on and hit that Try Easy Digs, first and foremost, you're going to walk through a setup process, 5-page questionnaire. It helps us get a better understanding of what you're trying to get out of the website, how we should structure it and set it up from you. From there, we create the base website for you. It comes straight out of the box, has full IDX integrations, it has full backend operating dashboards, client tracking, email automation set up for different touch points throughout your contact cycle and also both your sales cycle. We tried to create every single tool that we needed as a brokerage all in one package coming out of the gate. And we're attempting to make setup as easy as possible. And that is really what people should look at is instead of me having to integrate one more thing into my daily workflow or a notification, it really is saying, hey, how is there something that can simplify all of the separate demands on me and have one centralized point in which I can service my customer?
So I think an important point, and I've been telling people about EasyDigz. I was at Raleigh Regional yesterday. This is a white label solution. So this
Yes,
is
sir.
yourname.com as the licensed participant. If you're a broker or agent can buy EasyDigz, use it to be michaelsellscarry.com.
Any URL you want, your brand, your emails, all the way through, you are operating as the person servicing your client. It's not another intermediary company acting on your behalf.
Right. So this is going to be a brand that you own and you can afford to invest in it. It's your own brand and now your own technology behind it, licensed from EasyDigz. So once you get through that questionnaire and the website's all set up, Michael and I have spent a lot of time optimizing the data connection between EasyDigz and Doorify to make sure that this app can be as fast as the fastest app in the App Store. And that's not a hyperbole. We can measure that. And it is possible for the broker watching this, for your customers alert for the house that they've been looking for to go off faster than the ones that we're used to talking about, or as fast. That's a reality today using a technology that's got the right data plug in it, like EasyDigz does. So maybe Michael, I'm eager for them to see what it looks like. So once they've gone through this sign up process, the data's set up, they've got this temporary URL that's going to be there until we get the domain names all wired up. So the one you pick is pointing to that place. But pretty much immediately you get to have a website that you can look at before it's launched, and it's got, you just said, a list of things, everything from buyer registration. A buyer does a search and they say, yeah, we want to work with Michael Sells Carry, and it's got an email response of that person. Walk us through that user experience as a buyer.
Absolutely. So I'll just pull up a screen real quick to show you kind of what it looks like on the buyer side.
I just picked that as a way to get into the workflow so people can understand how this connects to their business today.
No worries. So on the client side, if I'm here searching on the site, I can go in and adjust my standard filters based on my criteria. Additionally, I can search via map, anything you would typically expect to be able to go in and identify. In addition, we have all of our saved properties and saved searches that you can go in and trigger. We track all of your favorited properties so that way we can identify anything that may be similar. From there, you can also see any properties that you have made offers in that you're interested in moving forward on, etc. We can also integrate in live time with your realtor's backend. And we see all of your, what stage the property is in and all of your qualification documents, etc. From the user side, we've tried to make it quite straightforward. In doing so, we've tried to enhance some features like this, and that is find me a 3-bedroom house with Leesville schools. So we've built in a lot of tools in order to make the user experience more straightforward. It can link straight through to this buyer experience. I can save this property and it's automatically saved in my background from whatever I'm doing. In addition, we've created some fun items for enhancing your client's user experience. We have this right here, which automatically pulls all the property that maps any valid search that they want. And from here, we build some logic behind what it is that they find interesting about a property or what features that they're actually interested in. And as we build this profile of each individual user, we can identify more and more properties that may fit their needs or wants based on ancillary criteria other than base map or search.
Okay, sure. So you're educating the model by saying which ones you like or don't.
Absolutely. And
That's pretty sophisticated, and that's at your domain, michaelsalescarry.com. Silly example. This is super fast, you guys. If you're noticing the speed on this thing, that's really important. Speed's a feature. Consumers really notice that. So once they've saved the property they want, how do they contact Michael Sales Carry?
so the fun part about that is as soon as they save that, as soon as they favorite it, you get a notification in your backend. You can automatically track what's happening. You can view the profile of the person that's interested in that property. We chart all of this user activity and we can track it over time. You can see which campaigns are working. You know when your user outreach is happening. You know which clients are more active on your site. Additionally, we can track their saved searches and see what kind of things that people are more interested in based on which client it is. And we
Sure.
can help provide suggestions or possibly tailor those searches for them according to their needs.
Yeah, that's really cool. What would you want the broker? This is sort of like, you have a minute with them in the elevator. This is a smooth, I think, clean user interface for the buyer. What features would you want to point to in the few minutes we have to talk about it for the broker to want to give you a call to get a more thorough demo?
Matt, that's a great question. I think some of the key takeaways is like an actual broker who's operating in our market built this. I'm not a tech founder who thought real estate looked like a good market to be in. I'm a broker who's actively built tools that I needed in order to advance in the market that we operate. We work to simplify the world. It directly integrates to pull live data from Doorify MLS. We can automate marketing, manage clients, and replace your patchwork tech stack in one platform and one login. It is a key to scale. If you're a solo agent or manage a growing brokerage, we help you scale your operations, marketing, communication without adding hours to your day. And we all know that you can't afford to do nothing. Brokers right now are facing a lot of challenges. And the ones who embrace smart and streamlined systems are the ones who are going to come out stronger on the other side of the market. We shouldn't wait for it to get better. We should build those habits now.
Yeah, I would great answer, Michael. And I think this is coming up here at the end of the month from Doorify. I think it's fair to say that we've been talking about this for a year, but the entry level price that you've offered on the dashboard, and we'll leave it off of the podcast. It's a few $100s. You'll see it when you get to the dashboard, but that's extraordinarily low price to me. That doesn't reflect the value that you're getting. It's just we both want to get this technology out in the marketplace to demonstrate the power of this. And you've got some customers using the EasyDigz platform already. You just said you built it for your own brokerage and you're using it, but you've got some other folks that have been using the platform for a while, I think.
Yes, we have brought in several of the brokers that operate locally, and we try and take their feedback and to grow the platform in order to make it, everything that they need for their business as well. First and foremost, one of the benefits of having a real broker who's local is features that people need in order to run their business. We listen to that feedback and we want to help build the platform that helps you scale your business. And that's really it. Is we've taken feedback from every single person that we've talked to and integrated it to try and make a better platform overall.
Yeah, I can definitely be a witness for that. And it's, you guys, the Doorify subscribers, have heard me talk about the different technology companies that we work with. And there are material differences between these companies, not just between the software. And being a small local startup that clearly has significant capacities, you guys are more agile and listen. And this may be the thing that makes the difference for your brand and for your team in 2026. So Michael's going to be at PropTech South November 5th, the Embassy Suites at our annual PropTechSouth.com event. If you're watching this podcast and you haven't gotten your tickets, we aren't sold out as of October 17th when we're recording this, but we're close. So check PropTechSouth.com and see if it's still available and come out and see what might be the next operating system for your business next year. Michael, thanks for coming out with us today. I'm glad that we got to spend that time together. I guess the QR code points to more information about EasyDigz.
Yes, sir, it does. Feel free to click on it. Go to EasyDigz.com. We do have Doorify, launch pricing on there right now. We are interested in onboarding people and getting feedback, and that's really where we're at. Is with the integration of Doorify, we're trying to add some special incentive to get people there. We also, additionally, for people who are want to learn a little bit more, we do have a free trial on there, with one caveat. If you pay upfront and in 30 days you've gone through, utilized all the systems, checked what the platform does, if it doesn't solve your needs, that's great. We'll return your money and no questions asked. But we just want to make sure that the people who are signing up are actually going through and setting up the platform and seeing the value that it can provide.
Yeah, fair. It takes work to do those. So that's I heard you offer that early, and it's standing behind your product in my view. So we're proud to put you on the dashboard, Michael, and see where this thing goes. I think that some brokerages are going to really find this to be, and individual subscribers will find this to be interesting for their business. Part of choice at Doorify, it doesn't disrupt whatever it is you're using now. It's just a way for you to try something that might work. We think it will, so that's why we're bringing it in as choice. So check out Michael's QR code there and watch for the end of the cycle here. It's right at the end of the month, just before PropTech South, when we're going to be having a product showcase and you'll see the EasyDigz logo on the dashboard. So thanks for joining us today, everybody. And Michael, thanks for coming out.